Mr. Williams, if you are not in court 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, I'm going to cite you and your client for contempt of court. Do I make myself understood? See you in court. Come in.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Webster.
I want to thank you for seeing me on such short notice.
What can I do for you?
Oh, well, I think we've got a serious problem with the Eric Mason custody case.
Oh?
I want to request that the social worker who is going to do the home study be directed to make a call on Mr. Carpenter immediately.
My mother's lodge, it's at Mirror Lake, is really easy to get to if you pay attention when you make that turn.
Thank you.
Why is it so important that you have to speak with her before the wedding?
I'm sorry, I really can't go into that now. You're a reporter for the Chronicle, right?
Yes.
Well, don't worry, because before long, you and everyone else will know what this is all about.
Look, more important than the fact that I'm a reporter is the fact that I'm Kate Phillips' daughter. Now, if what you're withholding is important to her, then I have a right to know, right?
I already told you. You will.
But why do you need to find her?
Just a little something about her groom I thought you might like to know.
Lee.
I really have to be
No,
going.
wait a minute. Drive up with me?
No, no, thank you.
But that map is sketchy and...
Look, I really appreciate your help, but I can't say any more at the moment.
Oh, Renee, I'll take that. Oh, Mrs. Phillips and Mr. Brothers, what a beautiful day for a wedding.
Oh.
Here, I'll take your thing.
How such wonderful rose.
Oh, thank you.
Well, first to arrive.
You'll have to remind Sebastian that I was on time this time. Hey, how'd you like to start the honeymoon early?
No.
Ah, Mrs. Phillips, or maybe I should say Mrs. Carruthers.
Renee, thank you so much for handling
Oh,
this
for
one.
you, anything. For you, anything. But I'm sure the museum was a little upset that I am not going to be able to handle their reception today personally. But that's a minor annoyance. What is important is I'm doing a favor for you.
You are sweet, Renee. Did you find everything you needed?
Yes, and I think you will be very happy with this setup on the gallery.
And the weather is perfect.
For your wedding, it would not be anything else. And what a luncheon I have prepared for you. Salmon poché, sauce verte, fresh asparagus, and a very delightful champagne.
Renee,
from my private wine cellar. It is my present to you.
Oh, thank you. It all seems so lovely.
But you'll excuse me. I have to take care of the china and the crystal. I have a new assistant. Oh, well, the less said, the better.
You know something, I think we've spent more on this little luncheon for 10 than the average couple would on a reception for 100.
Well, we are not an average couple. Rule number one, a congressman does whatever he does with style.
Including this.
Please don't.
It's usually the groom who has second thoughts, you know.
I'm not having second thoughts.
Then what is going on?
I don't know. Is there such a thing as emotional jet lag? Everything has been happening so fast, my heart hasn't caught up with my head.
Sounds like second thoughts to me. Kate, I wouldn't force you into something that you're uncomfortable with. I love you, and I want more than anything else for you to be my wife. But I don't want you to take this step unless you're ready. And forget about the arrangements. We can cancel them.
You really mean that, don't you?
Yes.
Even though a move like this would hurt you politically?
I told you once before that if the choice came down to my personal or professional life, Kate, there's no doubt what I'd choose.
I think my heart just caught up with my head.
I hope you have a good reason for your request, Mr. Webster.
Oh, yes, Your Honor, I think I do. I'm sure you recall that Dan Myers told us that Charles Carpenter was in Chicago with his sick brother.
I do.
Well, I've tried every way I know how to confirm that, and I just can't.
Why would you try in the first place, Mr. Webster?
Oh, my client. She thinks that it's kind of strange that her father would even know about his brother's possible stroke. So she called her Uncle Preston last night, got him on the phone. He said that he had not heard or seen anything of Charles Carpenter in over 2 years.
I see.
Well, I sent my own private investigator out there to verify that.
Very thorough. Did you discover anything?
Well, that's where the tricky part comes in. Not exactly. Seems in that part of Lake Forest, they build big walls around their homes, so a private investigator hadn't had much chance of finding out what's going on the other side of the wall. We did discover, however, that Preston Carpenter is not listed in any hospital in the Chicago area. And during all the time that my man was observing, he did not see Charles Carpenter at any time go in or out.
Which doesn't prove anything, Mr. Webster.
Well, that's only one piece of the puzzle, Your Honor. The other pieces are right here in Kingsley. Now, while the hearing was going on, Miriam Mason left her son, Eric, in the care of Carla Redland. That's Ione Redland's daughter-in-law. Well, on the first day that Charles didn't show up for the hearing, Eric took it in his mind to go off and play with his computer or a video game or something. Anyway, he snuck away from Carla and went over to Mr. Carpenter's house. Well, Carla realized it right away, and she went over to the Carpenter's house to get him back. While she was there, they both saw a strange man coming down from upstairs. Now, this was after they'd been told that there wasn't anybody else in the house. Then they were told that this man was a business associate of Charles. And then a very distraught and very nervous Ms. Lucas hustled him out the door. Now, this morning, Miriam took her son to see his grandfather, and they were told once again that he was still not there.
Highly suspicious. But speculative, Counselor. Listen, I'm very busy today. If you don't have any other evidence than that, then I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Yes,
and I've got things I have to do.
As a matter of fact, Your Honor, there is more. There is more. While they were there, both Miriam and the boy heard a noise upstairs. They wanted to go investigate. Mrs. Lucas wouldn't let them. Instead, with very nervous and very erratic behavior, she demanded that they leave the house again. Your Honor, I think that Mr. Myers is being less than truthful with us. I think Charles Carpenter's here in Kingsley. I think he's in that house. I think the strange man that Carla Redland saw coming down the stairs was a doctor. And I think Charles Carpenter is ill, maybe even another heart attack. And he's trying to keep it from you. That's why I'm requesting that the social worker be sent over there just as quickly as it's humanly possible. She has the right to go over every inch of the house. And when she does, I'm pretty sure I know what she's going to find.
Well, I must admit, you've raised some very interesting questions, Mr. Webster.
Interesting enough to grant my request?
Yes, yes. I think they're very valid questions, and I hope you can find some answers for your sake.
Miss Phillips. Hello, Rose. Hello.
Say, I thought I was going to have to do this thing alone, Kate and
Not
I.
a chance. I've been waiting for this day almost as long as you have.
Well, thank you. How you doing, Gil?
Just fine. Nervous?
Oh, old campaigner like me.
There's nothing old about you. Where's Mother?
She's back in the kitchen pretending not to supervise. Want some
right.
champagne?
Oh,
Renee's private stock.
Please.
Make that two.
Coming right up.
So, this is where Kate Phillips camps, huh?
Oh, yes, but in all the years that she's owned this place, she's not so much gotten one toe wet in the leg.
I beg your pardon. I remember waiting once, on the 4th of July, 1976.
Her contribution to the bicentennial.
I was beginning to worry about you.
No need to.
Hello, Gil.
You look beautiful, Mrs. Phillips.
Thank you very much. Amber, I need to talk to you. Would anyone mind if I borrowed Amber for a minute?
You will need your wine.
Amber might. Thanks. I think I'm going to need this.
So, done much fishing, Lee?
No, not very much. As a matter of fact, I was able to get up to Barrington Falls. Back
So
in
it's
May.
true
What?
that you and Gil are back together again?
I thought you'd be thrilled.
I'm anything but. Why?
It seemed the logical thing to do.
Oh, yes, if the logical thing to do is to hurt Stacy.
Is that what you think all of this is about?
Yes.
Look, I did not force Gil to make this choice.
A few days ago, offering Gil a choice wasn't even an option.
I decided that was wrong.
No, this is wrong. You're denying everyone involved with it a chance for happiness, including yourself. Now, I didn't like the way you were dealing with this before, because it was purely selfish. But it was much better than what you're doing now. This is purely vindictive. You know she's going to be here.
I'm sorry. We'll just have to all be adult about this, won't we?
If I were you, I would think this over very carefully before I made a final decision. And if you do decide to keep things as they are, so help me, Amber, you better try your utmost to make an honest go of it. Because I am going to be watching to make sure you do. You can be certain of that. Oh, Sebastian, if you had your way about it, Lee and I would be married on the 6 o'clock news. Now stop it. I've made the concession of one reporter. That should be enough.
Well, I guess it's going to have to be. But this is great, just great.
Well, with Kate in charge, could it be anything else?
Hey, I want to get a picture of you two standing in front of that lake. Boy, that would look good on the front page of the Chronicle, wouldn't it?
Will you stop thinking of my wedding day in media terms?
It would be easier to ask a fish to live in a tree. Oh, Sebastian, you've met young Gil Prescott here, haven't you?
Yeah, sure. How are you?
Just fine. How are you, Mr. Knight?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Oh, Amber, you look lovely as always. Every inch your mother's daughter.
And the hip boots will be distributed on the deck, everybody.
Oh, come on now.
Would you like a grand tour, Sebastian?
Oh, I'd love it.
All right, everybody on the deck for drinks until the judge gets here.
Great.
Well, I hope everyone is hungry because Renee is certainly not hungry. Good afternoon.
Gee, well, glad to see you found the place all right.
Well, I'd say with that little map that you gave me, that would be difficult not to. Department of Interior should be so precise.
Well, you can't be too careful about things like this. Besides, my way of making up for that little premature engagement announcement. Your paper has exclusive coverage.
Yeah. I'd like you to meet my photographer, Gary Fletcher.
Oh, hello. Hey, I have something I want you to look at. Oh, it'd be perfect for a picture. Matter of fact, it'd look for that front page.
Come in. Oh, I was afraid that was you.
Well, such a warm lady.
I'm sorry, Dave. It's this report. Lester wants it in 3 minutes, and I'm afraid... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm done. He wants us only up through September 9th. Oh, thank God.
Never a dull moment.
Oh, that's for sure.
And I thought I was the one holding you up on all this.
Is everything all right at the clinic?
Well, the quietest morning on record turned into one of the busiest, thanks to a fight in the pool hall around the corner.
Well, fun neighborhood.
Yeah, regular laugh riots. Well, I guess the worst thing was a guy who needed about 12 stitches. No, Ben wouldn't even try.
Well, I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, I'm running out of things to say to him.
Well, he understands how you feel. That's what's important. Look, I gotta run these up to Lester, and with any luck, I should be back in a couple of weeks or so.
Terry, I know how you feel.
About what?
The reason for our luncheon date? Keeping my mind off Kate. I appreciate it.
Well, what are friends for? I'll be right back.
All right, everyone. Time to get started.
Okay, let's go.
Now, Sebastian, if you ever decide that Washington isn't for you, then you've got a great future as a game show host.
Well, I thought that's what I already was.
What's wrong?
Stacy,
Not here yet. You think she changed her mind?
I guess we might as well go ahead.
May I have the bride here, please? And the groom here. Now, where are the witnesses?
I am.
I am too. Okay. Now, let's see. What ceremony was it we wanted? Oh, here it is. The dedication of a building. Okay. Now, I am just old-fashioned enough to ask that the bride and groom hold hands during the ceremony. I hope you're comfortable with that.
Very.
Yes.
Good. Let's just clear our heads for a moment, and then we'll start. We are gathered here in the presence of this company to join together in matrimony Catherine Ann Barrett and Lee Richard Carruthers. Matrimony is a serious and honorable estate and will bind you two together in a relationship so intimate and so close that it will profoundly influence your entire future. Pour out the abundance of your blessings on this man and woman, Lord. Let their love for each other be a seal upon their hearts, a mantle about their shoulders, and a crown upon their heads. May they love, honor, and cherish each other in faithfulness and patience, in wisdom and true godliness, that their home may be a haven of blessing and peace. Do you, Catherine, take David for your husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until you're parted by death?
I will.
And do you, Lee, take Catherine to be your lawfully wedded wife, to respect and honor, to give unselfishly to and take unselfishly from?
I will.
No greater blessing can come of married life than a love which is true and loyal. May this love with which you join your hands and hearts today never fail. May it grow deeper and more meaningful as the years go by. Henceforth, you will belong entirely to each other. You will be one in mind, one in heart, one in affections. And whatever sacrifices you may hereafter be required to make to preserve this mutual life, always make them generously, because sacrifice can be difficult and irksome. Only love can make it easy. Only perfect love can make it a joy. When the love is perfect, the sacrifice is complete.
Dave, I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow. As the Lord Jesus is my witness, I pledge my love to you. I pray that our lives together will be a sign of Christ's love to a hurting and broken world, that unity may overcome estrangement, forgiveness heal guilt, and joy conquer despair. I thank him now for the gift of you, and I take you as my husband. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Now, therefore, I, Timothy Sawyer, do hereby unite in marriage this couple, pursuant to the marriage license issued by the Circuit Court of Kingsley, and do hereby declare them to be husband and wife. And if you don't hurry up and kiss this woman, I'm going to declare the whole thing null and void.
I am happy, Stacy. Please be happy with me.
I'm trying, Mom. Look, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay. It's awkward with Gil being here.
Yes, I know. Gil and Amber took the judge out on the gallery, but I wish you'd stay for a while, dear. Have some hors d'oeuvres and a chat. I'd really like that.
Okay.
Oh, that's all right, Rose. I have it.
Mrs. Phillips?
Oh, Andrea.
You decided to come after all.
Yes.
I'm afraid you missed the ceremony.
Yes, I took a wrong turn. Something tells me I'm just in time for the party, though.
I'm sorry you missed the ceremony.
Not as sorry as I am. Mrs. Phillips, Mrs. Carruthers, I wonder if I could speak with you privately?
Well, anything you have to tell my wife, you could tell me.
No, I want to speak with her privately.
Well, look, Andrea, whatever this is about, certainly
Now, that's all right, Lee. Please join the others outside. I'd like to hear what Andrea has to say.